So I get to the point of the Voodoo Prince and how, yeah, that was right before I got the car and went head to head with Tupac. But it wasn't before I got General Flynn's daughter pregnant. Because they said, this fucking kid ain't gonna live. Yeah, well, I'm still here, motherfuckers. Hey, yo, and, my point being, that happened after I came back. Right before I got the car, I went up against the Voodoo Prince. The people that were there, I'm gonna say by nickname, I Eat Angels. I'm not sure if Roundhead was there. Lynn definitely was there. AKA what? Lilith? Which I'm a little bit confused right now as to a situation that took place way before and that time there, because now I'm saying, so does she have a double? Because I want to say Rebecca, and then I'm thinking Lynn or Lilith, right? That's not even a nickname. I don't know how else, because those two situations seem a little bit important enough to say who was who. And now, now, like I said, don't get this confused. Anybody that is fucking paying it, but yet but yet Daddy Longlegs was there too. Now, all these names, right, I'm throwing out there are mixed with a couple backup dancers and bullshit and blah, blah, blah. Loki. Now, that Voodoo Prince right there, right? The one with the ring. Now, stepping away from that situation, because that should clear up pretty much almost everything from the future on. From that point. A lot of it. Because a lot of it was caused by demons. Possession of demons. Wow, man. How do I make this right? And then I'm just saying to myself, now, one other person that was there was Lisa. But not in Lisa's pretty form. That was the old lady that was looking into that puddle on that road that night. Now, with that said, if that was Lisa, and that was Lisa's other form, would that mean, because the devil was already at play right there. Come on now, sir. That would clear Satan. I don't know if that would clear Lucifer, whether the encounter with Lucifer took place prior or after, with the whole freaking jaw opening, the Beatles coming out. That was crazy, man. That was fucking that was that was crazy. But the point being is that the devil. So then going backwards, Lisa, the devil's daughter. That would go back to at least a few. What? That would go back to the encounter with the bathtub full of lime. Maybe not. Not maybe. No, maybe that was afterwards. No, that was beforehand. No, that was before. So yeah, that would go back to that. That would go back to further than that. The encounter, which I'm thinking at that point, the person that I met as my cousin, which would have been Loki, and the drowning me in the fucking swimming pool talk, bullshit. I don't want to say bullshit like that, but like, that was crazy. Trying to set me up with a fucking tape recorder. Little boy. Which backfired. And then it still kept on going. So then the reason I'm bringing all this up is because, in other words, there was the connection between the DOJ, Chris Moore, French Montana's name was brought up, which French Montana just came out only this fucking somewhat recently. Which then brings it back to also General Flynn, the U.S. military. Because that's what fucking, that little squeaky one. The one that's like a cup of coffee and a freaking firecracker mixed. That log situation. No, well, the Christmas tree situation. But yet all that took place after the Voodoo Prince. And yet, getting General Flynn's daughter pregnant happened before the Voodoo Prince. The meeting with the Voodoo Prince. Lisa was such a sweetheart when I first met her. Loki, he was freaking. If I would have. It's like, oh, go meet your cousin. It's like, oh, it's like, okay, I didn't know. It's like, But that doesn't go back. That still doesn't. That doesn't exactly cancel out what happened even prior to that, which was, and I'm going backwards with this, but the encounter with Tupac, them noticing the marks of Christ on my hands, or noticing the marks of Christ on my hands, the meeting with Tupac, being hit by the car when I was about two and a half. And even though it goes all the way back to Snoop, it doesn't really go back to fucking Snoop like that as far as I'm concerned, man. I met Snoop and I was sitting there, I couldn't even really, I mean, literally, I was concentrating on literally taking my first couple steps in life. Like, maybe like, like the 800th step, but like still my first, or my 1,000th step, but like pretty much like, when I say my first steps, I mean, it was like, okay, I got this. I can make one or two more steps from there. Okay, I got this. One more step from there. It was like that little. I was that little. And yeah, so every single time that I encountered the devil, every single time, always trying to burn me, always trying to burn me. And yet I turned around and saved his family's lives. And would I do it again? Sean Allen. Sir. I don't know if I'm missing that connection there, but that goes back to that and that. As far as the principal that molested me and the other principal that, even though and that's just me saying there's no sticking up for anybody in fucking hell, really. This ain't hell. That's what I'm saying. It's like these beings, they come from hell, man. They are what, between human form and what they can be. And is it good for people to sit there and pray to, I still say make your own choice, but what I've seen, man. Oh, and the encounter. That's interesting too, because the encounter. Now I know the Snoop Dogg thing, that wasn't beforehand, but then there was also that encounter with the spider that bit me. That was right around, if not before or after. Still, I still don't remember if it was before or after. I think it was after. It had to be after. Maybe it was before. You know, that's the only thing. It's like those, because I know that I was at least old enough to go wander off close to the house. And yet, freaking, when I met Tupac, I was able to walk, but I wasn't able to walk like that. That happened after. That had to happen after I met Tupac for the first time. And that's why this all leads right up to that freaking Christmas tree, and that's the DOJ right there, man. And they were working with other people. I think I'm still hurt from, like, what, if that was Selena that second time that I bumped into her later on. And I'm not talking about, that wasn't a nice encounter. That's all I got to say, man. The stuff that was said, it's like I don't even want to hold it back, but it's like, yo, man, it's like, I'm just gonna say that was not. All the stuff that happened after me getting my car, prior to that, was that incident with the Voodoo Prince. All the stuff that took place beforehand. Now, the only thing that really links those two situations is pretty much the DOJ and Tupac's mom pretending to be friends with everybody. And that was even before the Voodoo Prince. The only other thing that I'm juggling in my head right now is I can't I can't remember your face. I remember your hand in the ring. I remember the cane. I remember the nicknames of some of the people that were in that bar in South Africa without me even having to leave the United States. Let alone, I'm pretty sure I didn't even leave Long Island, okay? All I'm saying is that so even before that, the only other voodoo that was there was Tupac's mom, causing shit to be fucking disrupted in a way that's like fucking seriously like I just fucking took on pretty much all the fucking hell. And yet your son and his ghost boy, Biggie, told me that this ain't hell. Hell's real though. That's on some real shit, man. So I'm asking honestly, I'm asking the Voodoo Prince, the one who eats angels, all that, man. I mean, did I nail it, right? Please let my priests and my priestesses, please let them go and let them go safely enough where they're still guarded in a way. Protect my wife for right now. This place is a really, really fucked up fucking thing, man. This is a really fucked up place, man. You know, it's like the only question I got is like the one that the see. That's what I'm saying. She went by so many different names. It's like I'm wondering if that was really Lilith. Like, yo, it's like there's no doubt, man. There's no doubt that you definitely made me want to fall in love with you too. Just fucked up, right? You know, if that was you in two different situations. Yeah, I'm a little bit. I'm still saying it's like I don't know because I'm still picking through the freaking Aries, man. I don't know about that either. That's all crazy right there too, man. There's there, like I mean, me discussing, hey, look, the firecracker that drank a cup of coffee and a little Spitfire, and then the freaking between that and then there's the other the prissy one, and then there's this one, and then there's the quiet one, and then there's it's like I mean there's a lot of those, man. There are a lot. There is a lot. And the one that I kissed on the neck, the moonlight, my moonlight. I really love her. I might not have came to hell to kick some ass, but I think I did some pretty good jobs here because in the middle of all of that, there's a lot of people dead. And I just want to let you know, like, hey, look, man, my hands are clean. You know what I mean? Oh, that's the reason I brought up that because you know what I'm saying to myself. I'm saying, with the Voodoo Prince and all, the reason, I'm saying to myself, like, the only other thing that I am saying is that I can't remember your face, and for some reason, maybe it was just so damn dark, and you are so black, I'm only because I don't remember you being that black. It's just your face ain't lining up in my head. I can't freaking see your face, and what's interesting is that I'm saying to myself, it's like there was another man that I met, and then there was the other guy. Now, there was the other guy that when I put a stop to those kids being harvested, there was another guy that stepped into that scene, coming out of almost coming out of something like Rocky, almost, but did not look like. I'm getting those faces all mixed up right there. So it doesn't matter. That's the scene. That's the whole thing. Because then there's the guy on the park bench over here when a couple months back bumping into CeeLo, or what looked like CeeLo. So I'm wondering if that was a freaking ghost to him too, man. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because of that other guy, the guy that said he could have put a stop to this. When I was homeless and I met that dude up in the Hess station, which I didn't even realize was eventually, his name was Pop Smoke. Malik. Working with two white kids. Smoking weed. Letting me in. They were some cool motherfuckers. Seriously. That's that, man. Because that's some real shit right there, man. That is some real heavy shit. This is what I mean. It's everything, every single freaking thing I've said at this point. It's like, yo, man. It's like, it's like, do I, I mean, it's like, did I pass the test? I don't know, man. And then I'm thinking to myself, it's like, damn, man. Nothing. Come on, man. Bullshit. Man. That's crazy, man. Figure all that out, and then what? I just hope you keep your word, man. It's like I don't know what else to say. It's like I don't know what else to say right there. It's like I don't know how to pull that. I don't know how to do any of that magic stuff, man. Like I know a few things. I don't even know how exactly that all works, man. I know the small amounts of things that I know. Some, and that's what I'm saying. I don't even know how to turn that on exactly. The way it fucking works. I don't know how it works. If that's even, I don't even. You know what? To tell you the truth, I don't even know. I don't even know. That's being honest. That's why it's like I just took on all the hell, man. It's like, wow, man. It's like, did I even use magic? Like, really? Nah, man. So, that's not. That's what I'm saying. It's like I think that's the one thing that maybe you know you need to work on in this place, man, because it's like people got to know that it's somewhat real, man. But I'm not saying you got to go teach everybody, man. I'm just saying that freaking, because that is crazy, man. But then that cancels out the devil, right? Because what is that? The devil's greatest trick is making the world think you don't exist. In the Bible, I don't think it actually speaks like, from God's point of view, like when it comes down to like trading your daughter for gold, or paying three goats and a fucking sheep for your laboring son, or like it's like, come on, man. The words that God speaks in the Bible, like I'm freaking guaranteeing there's nothing else. There's nothing in there that says any of that. Ten Commandments, those seem to be like misconcurred, misconstrued. Misinterpreted. Yeah, all right. So I think that's about that, because I mean, it's like it's like, yo, man, maybe if I had a beer, I'd be telling jokes right now. But it's like this stuff wasn't. This stuff, none of this stuff is funny, man. I mean, some of it maybe, yeah, no, some of it's funny, but I mean, not. not thinking that's not. I don't want to lose the ones that I cared about. That's people too, not just my priests or priestesses. That's people too that deserve it. And it's like, it's hard in this place, man. That's why this is like, this is because you got people putting on people. You got people in this place that put more stuff on people's plates, and they don't even know what the fuck is on their plate to start with. That right there, that is truth. That is like freaking, you know. You know what, man, you look into any type of heart that you have and ask yourself if God would have done that, or did God do that, or whatever your knowledge of that situation in your mind is, because the stuff that I've seen, the stuff that I know, I was being tested at one point, other than the fact, and I gotta say this, didn't you erase my memory, Prince? See if he remembers it on his own. Yeah? I mean, okay, granted, couple hints, right? But I mean, nobody's telling me this shit, right? That's why I'm saying, can you try to keep your word? Because there's no way I'm getting that freaking. Yeah, that's what I mean. That was a whole setup down that way too. It's like, come on, man. It's like even that was afterwards, right? So if all this cancels out all the other things that happened afterwards, then it brings it back to the point. The point is that bar over in South Africa. So can I please have my priests and my priestesses back? Please. In one piece and safe. And can some of this be fixed? Maybe. Now that I know like how many people were underneath demon possession during some of this, yo, I hope more people go to church, but more than likely they ain't gonna get this shit anyway. The worst part of that whole thing, this whole thing, I would say, is like, it's like the people who wanted to teach me, the people who wanted to teach me, in comparison to the person who protected me, but all they did was really teach me how to like forget everything. That's hurting right now, man. That's hurting me right now, man. Because it wasn't just a plot against me, it was a plot against my wife. That wasn't even fucking born at that point yet. That's crazy. This shit's crazy.